Hello, welcome back to the Way UK podcast. I'm here, I'm Izzy.
Hi, Izzy.
Who's this?
I'm Jesse, also hosting today.
And we're here at Big Church, live with two special guests who you can introduce yourselves. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Joe Garratt.
That was great.
And who are you?
I'm Jacob White.
Nice. Huge. So can you guys tell me a little bit about yourselves? What do you do? How do you know each other? That good stuff.
I'm Jacob. I'm 26. I'm from like Hampshire, but I live in London now. This is my best friend Joe, who we've had our ups and downs, but we made it onto the podcast stage at Big Church Festival. So
Yeah. And we actually met, I want to say like 2 and a bit years ago. Yeah, about
Yes.
2 and a bit years ago, I posted a scripture on TikTok and speaking about it, and Jacob commented underneath and said, dude, you should come to church. So we've been...
super desperate.
They needed numbers. So I've been going to the church with him since.
And both you guys are on social media, content
Yes.
creators.
Yeah.
Are you guys on social media?
The Way UK.
Yeah,
Check
I've
it
seen
out.
your stuff.
Yeah, nice,
Really?
nice.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
really
come
cool.
on, we made it.
So what kind of stuff do you do on the interwebs?
Joe's kind of like a inspirational sort of figure. So like, he's the type of person you want to follow to like look up to.
Jacob's a chef.
No. I'm a work in progress.
No, he's a very good cook, and he hosts a lot of supper clubs.
Yeah, that's like a cringe term now, but like, I cook food and I film myself cooking food. Yeah.
Nice. And then Joe, you were once on Love Island.
Yeah.
So that some people may know you from that.
Tonight.
But that was a
sandwiches.
while ago.
Well, so when we first met,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm a Christian. I don't watch Love Island, but I guess I'll meet this guy. I didn't actually speak like that, but I haven't watched much Love Island, hadn't watched any of that.
Don't.
I'd watched one season, and when I saw you, I realised, flip, that is the one season.
But how old
That
were you
I've
when you
watched.
watched it, Jesse?
Don't worry about that.
13 years old.
I would have been, 13. How old were you when you filmed
Yeah,
that?
21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But since then, you've like done amazing things with your faith. You've continued on doing bigger things and continuing with your social media world. And I'd just love to hear, like, what is your faith journey navigating social media? How's that been?
Great question. I think it's all about kind of finding. It's hard. I think something that when I first started coming to faith, it was always the pressure of like, am I posting too little? Am I posting too much? And like, am I over posting about God? And it was just trying to find the balance of like planting the seed and not overdoing it.
You don't want to overwater your seeds because then it won't grow, right, Joe? Yeah.
Hey,
It's good. It's good.
starting straight up.
But yeah, I think that was the find the balance thing is something I've been like battling with and still do now. It's not that easy. But we're figuring it out. So yeah.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you're also
can answer.
on social
Okay.
media,
Wait.
so
Wait, what was the question?
Just talking about how you navigate faith in your circles, in your
Oh yeah.
circles.
I mean, like I don't really see social media as like, I kind of differentiate it from my life because it's my job. So I think naturally like elements of my faith just like flow into it. Like I have like a Jesus sticker on the back of my car. So if I post my car, you're going to see the Jesus sticker. You get what I'm saying? A Hyundai Tuscan. Yeah. It's my mum's old car.
great car.
No, it's awesome. I'd love to hear. Obviously, social media. I'm assuming most of us are on social media. I'm looking around, lots of young faces. It is just such a hard space to navigate. It's mixed with lots of transaction. Like we only love you if you do well, and if you don't do well, oh, you're shunned a little bit. And it's really easy to get lost in that. Get lost in the numbers. Get lost in looking for affirmation, and in loads of different places. It's filled with comparison. There's
Yeah.
people who are further than you, people behind you. You're always feeling slightly, behind. And you guys are like in the mix. You're in the middle of it. You're trying to work in it. This is the way that you make your livelihood. It's not even like you can kind of switch off, put a phone in the closet, and have a Nokia for the rest of your life. This is literally how you make money.
Yeah.
And so I guess what are some difficulties that you've faced in the journey of being a Christian, but also dealing with social media?
Yeah, actually, you made a point about kind of leaning into God while I'm doing what I'm doing has actually been the best thing. If I'm being honest, it's actually so much of a positive. So however much there is that balancing act of, faith and work and whatever else, when I trust in God in everything I do, especially when it comes to work, you will see other people doing better than you in certain fields you're trying to get into. And you just have to keep leaning back onto God and knowing it's either not your time or maybe that's not for you. So yeah, it's kind of helped me. It's actually really helped me on my journey, if anything.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like, social media is difficult because it's a numbers game, right? And like when it's your job, like how much money you make or how well you do is dictated off people liking your stuff, right? So I think the hardest thing is like to keep your identity in your faith outside of your work, because as soon as you start like putting your identity in your numbers, that's a dangerous game to play. And it's like, I used to play that game and it like cuts you deep. So it's like, it's something that you have to experience. You have to experience like the feeling of like letting numbers dictate you to understand that it's not what's on.
That probably also applies to like most of us probably aren't influencers, or in the
Your last photo got like 400 likes, didn't it?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
popping
that's
right
nice.
now.
400. I see.
Yeah.
Throw the at out, let everyone know.
It didn't, but that's fine. But like
500. No checks.
Great. But it applies to like all our lives, isn't it? It's like, it's that comparison, it's the numbers, it's other people's opinions, it's where we put our identity in that shapes how we view ourselves. And I suppose also you guys go to a lot of events, you're surrounded by lots of other people that may not be Christians. And how do you navigate actually going into those spaces, being a Christian, but expected to join in with certain things or act a certain way? Like, how have you navigated that?
I mean, I try and not to alienate anyone who I hang out with. Like, there's some verse which talks about like the Gentiles will not be held to the same standard of the Jews. So like, why would I hold like my non-Christian friends to the same standard as my Christian friends? And I think that makes them feel comfortable when they're around me, that it's like, it's not that thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you always want to make people feel comfortable as well. I think God wants us in all spaces. And you have to be the light in those dark places, I think, or at least try to be, and be a good representation. That's kind of what I'd say. It doesn't really matter the environment. I think separating yourself from it is probably the wrong way of going around it. You're just avoiding it. You're better off to go into it and try to be the light, I think.
Yeah, I think like if you're going to go into like those dark spaces, you got to go into it with purpose and for a reason, or like you'll get swallowed up. Like when Jesus talks about like being the light, being the lamp on the hill, like if you're going to be in the club or whatever you want to be, like make sure you're representing something different than that, or there's no point you being there, if that makes sense.
I remember, Joe, we've spoken before where you were saying how incredible it is to have Christians in those spaces. And I remember you saying like, how cool would it be like if you're watching Love Island and out of nowhere someone just starts talking about the Bible, and talking about their favorite Bible verse.
Yeah.
And do you want to expand more on that? I love what you were speaking about.
Yeah, no, I just think, again, it kind of leans into what I was just saying there about having like people of God in every space. I think that's crucial to spread the word. It's all well and good going into a Christian room, everyone's a Christian, and saying, oh, high-fiving everyone, we're all the same. But it's going out into the other areas. It's about getting your cup filled in the Christian environments, and then going out and overflowing onto others and letting them feel the love of God.
It's awesome. I'd love to. Can we get a little deep?
Let's go there,
A little
Jesse.
personal. I mean, as personal as you want. But obviously, it's great. There's all these like theoretical answers, which is like, oh yeah, we need to go into the dark space.
You want practical?
Well, not just practical, but also like personal. I'm curious, like, have you ever had moments of compromise when you've been in that space, and how have you recovered when you've actually compromised?
Yeah, 100%. Like pretty much every day. Like, and I actually have one of my best friends here, Posse, and like our relationship's great for my faith because we struggle with the same thing. Like, we both love women, like, and we struggle. But for real,
down.
like that's one of our struggles, right? And it's like, if we can kind of keep each other on the same line and keep each other accountable, like if we did something we shouldn't have done, like Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
totally.
like, if you haven't got people who you can confess your sins to as a brother, like, then that's a slippery slope. Like, that's when it gets dangerous. Because also, I get scared to tell him stuff. Like, if I did something wrong, like, I get scared to tell Posse, and I should be scared because I know that he's gonna tell me off. Like, yeah.
And it's good, and it's so important to talk about these things, because what happens is when we have struggles and we keep them inside, is it just festers and
Massively,
it
yeah.
grows. When actually, what the Bible says, that if you confess your sin, that's when the healing comes.
There we go.
And
Come on,
so,
Jesse.
like, yeah, well, like, that's the thing. We're scared, and these topics, like, we think they're taboo and we can't talk about them. But it's in talking about them that we find true healing.
100%.
So thanks for saying that.
Sure.
What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I think you need community around you 100%, because it's all well and good holding yourself accountable, but there are times where you don't, and you need someone around you who will hold you accountable. Again, Posse and Jacob, two people who definitely will hold all of us accountable. So yeah, it's always good to have that community. And again, this is kind of why I lean into people about, you don't need to go to church to be Christian. I hear it, but it does help. It does help to have that good community around you. And again, so you can have your cup overflowing. It's crucial for you to still feel the love from everyone else, and also be told and know certain things to go out and tell others.
And Jacob, I'm going to pick on you now.
Well, then.
You have this real like gift of gathering people, and you have brought so many people to church, and so many people in your circle, like a lot of people with influence you have brought to church, and you've almost like made it really approachable for them to come. How have you gone about that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that like we're all relational people, right? Like if someone's going to invite me somewhere, I'm more likely I'm going to go because of that person. Like, so I think if you can be someone who people want to be around, then they're going to follow you wherever you go. Like my kind of like one of my mentors, a guy called Dan Blythe, like I remember seeing him at church, and I was like, I saw stuff in him that I wanted to possess. And it's like him having that influence over me meant like when he's like, I'm preaching here, like I'm going to be there, or like I'm going up north to preach, like I'm going to be there. So it's like, if you can be someone in your community who people like, I don't know, you have characteristics that they want to possess, whether it's like you're kind, you're patient, you're caring, you're forgiving. Like
I guess it's Jesus' characteristics.
Do you get it? Yeah. So if you can be that, then like naturally people are just going to come. They're going to be like, why is this guy like that? Like, yeah.
And Joe, you got invited by Jacob?
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. Obviously, when he did comment, I did go and check his profile out.
Oh, this guy's sick.
Well, who's this guy?
And you blocked.
Yeah, instantly.
You found your number somehow.
But no, again, it was one of those, similar to what you just said there. Like, I looked at his profile, I thought, it seems like a cool guy. And again, at that point, I'd only been to church a few times when I was younger. This is a few years ago now, but I'd been to church a few times when I was younger. It probably wasn't for me. It was very old school. I didn't really get on with too many people at the church, or didn't know anyone from there. The school I went to, secondary school, no one was really Christian. If I had spoke about Christianity, it was weird. So yeah, it was nice to see him comment and then check his stuff out and think, oh, actually, I rate this guy, I rate him. And I was like, all right, let me go check it out. And again, it's not even so much with Jacob. The best thing about him is that it's actually his consistency. It won't so much be here's the invite, come if you want and whatever else. It's more so, here's the invite, let me check in the next week. I wasn't going to go the second week. I went the first week. It was cool. Liked him. I thought, I'll give it a break this week. I'm tired. He texted me, do you want to come? I was like, yeah, I'll come. He said, we're going to get pastries after. I was like, fine. So then it just kept on being that consistency each week. Next thing you know, it was like part of my routine. So I think that's where you come in.
And I also feel like when you have a community that's like infectious and contagious, like you just want it to slot in, like, and then they're part of it. You know what I mean? Like being able to, having to hold relationships with all the people in church isn't sustainable. Like you need to create a community that people can just slot into and everyone kicks it. Like,
but it's also a real community as well. Like, again, I've met Christian people in the past who instantly from meeting them, actually funny enough, onto the question earlier, I met someone here last year who generally queried me why I was here. Why are you at Big Church Festival? Are you a Christian? You can't be a Christian. There's no way. And it was like so much condemning in that moment. And it's something we spoke about on the Testimony podcast. But with our community and the one that Jacob's kind of built, it's been nice because you can almost be honest with each other about anything. And sometimes it won't even come with any judgment. Like, yeah, it's nice to be held accountable for certain things, but sometimes you can just say something and there's no judgment. And we want He's not supposed to be condemned. Jesus wasn't here to condemn us. Do you know what I mean? It was always saved through him. So it's nice when you can have that good community.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And we were chatting earlier on the couch about how so many people think that since they can only give a little bit of themselves because it's all the amount of time they have. Like we were talking about a few of our mutual friends who feel like church is unapproachable because they've only got like an hour a week and they can only give an hour a week. And so God needs 10 hours a week of my time. And that's what it is to be a Christian. But it's not about that. It's about coming with who you are. It's coming with your little honesty. It's coming with what you got. And actually, that's what Jesus loves. He just wants you, and he wants your little part, whatever that is.
Well, that's the thing. You don't need perfection to come to God. You need to come to God in search of his perfection. And that's what it is. It's like
That was a good line, to be fair. That was good.
Great.
But yeah, so I think that's what I think people are so concerned about. And something I definitely concerned about. Oh, here's me posting this video about Isaiah 60:22 on my TikTok with such little confidence when I did it. If anything, it was an element of performatism to it, if I'm being honest. And
your voice is a bit shaky now.
yeah, whereas now I do it with conviction. But yeah, it's nice to kind of almost get involved in that and realize that there are so many people amongst us who aren't perfect, because we all fall short. We all fall short of the grace of God, and that is us. That's life, and that's who we are. And it's accepting that which is crucial, and it's accepting everyone else in the fact that we aren't perfect, and that's why we all look towards Christ.
So good. I'm really curious. We're hearing a lot at the moment in the church about this quiet revival. You're hearing the stats, you're hearing the numbers. Church is booming. Big church is sold out. It's amazing. Yeah,
Let's
come
go,
on.
big church.
Absolute cheer. Like it's phenomenal to see what God is doing at the moment. But you guys have been kind of in the secular non-Christian space for a long time. The social media space for a long time.
It's growing, though.
And I'm just curious, like what has changed? Has people's perception of faith changed in the past couple of years, or has it kind of remained the same and everyone's a bit loosey-goosey open?
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
I think that social media's definitely had a big part to play in it. Because I remember my dad's a pastor, but I probably fully started going to church when I was maybe like 19 years old. And the big thing for me was like I'd never seen someone like my age or like me be in church. And that was always a thing whenever I tell people I'm a Christian. Even now, they're like, you're not what I thought a Christian looked like. And I think now like social media is perpetuating what's going on, which is like people our age and people who look like Jesse, handsome, symmetrical face, like goes
Gorgeous.
to church. But for real, like,
The
because
blue eyes, the
you
blue
want to see,
eyes.
like, I'm not going to go to the Bowls Club in Brighton because no one who looks like me is going to be there. Whereas, like, people know that church is something that they can find more community in now as well.
That was a specific example. The Bowls Club in Brighton.
Dome. That was off the dome. Yeah, that was off the
Yeah, I
dome.
mean,
yeah.
fair
No
play.
offense to anyone.
That was next to my house in Brighton where
Was
I grew
it?
up. Yeah.
Ah, man.
I hung there all the time.
Sorry, Jennifer.
It's all right. You grew into the baby blues,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then now you're at church.
But again, even to the point here, like, yeah, social media can play a negative in a lot of people's lives and stuff, but he's completely right. It has played a massive positive role in spreading faith and planting the seed in so many people. Even me, like, my For You page nowadays in comparison to what it used to be, wild.
What
Like
did it used to be?
You don't want to know. But yeah, no, actually now it's all about Christian content, and it's like I'm seeing these new creators every single day, and I'm loving it because it's nice to see people spreading their faith, spreading their honest journey, and bringing more and more people in.
What do you say to those people that like want to become influencers? Like, it's one of the most like desirable.
Don't do it.
Bad
No, but like legit, like it's a very desirable job, especially for like younger teens and whatnot, because it seems amazing. What do you say to them, especially if they're navigating their faith or?
Yeah. Honestly, I'd say don't do it. Like, if I'm completely honest, like,
Really, why?
I'd say if you have something you're passionate about, like if you're passionate about knitting, make videos of you knitting, and then if by chance you end up turning it into something, then super cool. But like, don't pursue that, because like in the pursuit of doing that, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and equally, I'd say pray on it. If you're ever uncertain on anything, make sure you pray on it. Is it something that God's put in your heart, or is it something that you're feeling of the world? Do you know what I mean? I know specifically for me, when I was first like doing it, it was very worldly. I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm going to the sickest parties. I'm around like all these celebs and people I look up to. I'm wearing expensive clothing, all these kind of things. I couldn't afford any of it. I was stressed to high heaven.
Now look at him. He's wearing Rude. How much was this? 250? Yeah.
Sale.
He's comfy. He's comfy.
But you hear it though. Like I was very much looking to the world for to be accepted by them, to be validated. But when you're validated through Christ, you don't need the world. So that's something that I've had to accept and start to learn. And there's sometimes I fall short constantly. I still look towards certain things. I know I shouldn't, but I guess this is an industry I've kind of fell into, and I'm kind of still finding my way with it every single day. I haven't so much got a niche as we have Mr. Chef, but yeah, I'm still figuring it out and enjoying it.
It's awesome to just like hear all these perspectives this past couple of days, and
Jesse,
hear
you look
guys.
so good. There's a monitor here, by the way, and Jesse
no,
looks
it's
good
you.
look at you.
unbelievable.
Wow.
He's glowing.
I feel
Powerful.
so left out.
I'm sorry, and Izzy's glowing.
Izzy,
Sorry,
you
my
look
bad.
great. You look awesome.
We're resisting temptation, is he?
Hey. And would you say what's the biggest difference between like parties and church? You've been in both. Like, do you see? No. Okay, let me reframe the question. Often in like the party scene, from the few I went to when I was 14, to be honest, that's a bit sad on me. Sorry,
hang on.
and I feel like there's these general themes where people are looking for a place to slot, like you say. People are desperate to kind of find out who they are and all this kind of thing. Do you think that the church and that community is exactly what they need, or do you think we need to be more intentional about going into the party space and just being in there and almost making the party the church? I don't know. I kind of...
I'll say one thing. This New Year's, every single New Year's I've spent away from home and different country, whatever. And this is the first time I've ever done it in a church. So we're seeing the New Year at church, which was a party, which was kind of fun. So yeah, I remember doing that.
When you say party, it was a worship night.
It was
they have
insane, is what it
balloons,
was. That is a party to me.
Yeah.
Did you see the worship tent over there?
Yeah, true,
Crazy,
valid.
overflowing.
Was there any fireworks in like
there
the
wasn't yet.
flame?
There is some later if you come to the big stage.
Hey, all right.
But yeah, no, it was that was nice. It's weird. It's like that's the balance of like the party lifestyle and also going to church. That also being said, I don't really go to parties too much anymore. Not to say I'm avoiding the dark spaces or whatever it may be, but yeah, just partying, just not. I think I've grown out that phase now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess to re-emphasize kind of what my initial point was, because I didn't quite articulate it properly. That scene feels like the most life thing ever. It's like it's those spaces where you find true life. It's those spaces where you really like come alive. That's where you want to be. You got with those celebrities, and what you're saying currently is like, oh, actually, guys, that's not it. And I guess I'd love to hear the process of becoming a Christian and how you were like in one scene into the other, and how you began to experience the church and lose the desires to go to parties to the point where you're now here and you're like, oh, I don't even want to go into the world. Like
Yeah.
that's not even for me. How did that process happen? Was there something you found?
Yeah, I'm kind of a bit different because I kind of like parties. Like, but I think that the difference is like, is going to parties compromising your values? Do you know what I mean? Like, because if you can go to parties and not compromise your values, then okay, go to parties. I don't think parties should be like demonized as like, this is the dark and church is the light, because it's not really like that. I think, to be honest, I think all the work's done in your relationship with God. Like, if you're not doing your work like in your relationship with God, then don't go parties. But like, if you're pursuing God every day, like my friend Posse, like every single day without fail, he reads his book, Facing Fear 365, and he writes in his journal. And like, that's...
Come on, Dan.
But like, that's his weapon to go out so he can go to parties. Do you know what I mean? Because if he wasn't in that, then like, sure, don't go in places that you're going to compromise your faith and your values. But like, I don't think it should be demonized. Like, yeah.
Well, we've chatted a bit about social media world, parties, life, all that good stuff. And now
Why'd you say life like that?
I ran out of things on my list, so I thought I'd just say life. But we've got some people here, so I think we should get a little Q&A going. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. It can be about anything. Oh, we got one over here. The mic is beginning to run.
Posse, you're not allowed to ask any
Yeah,
questions.
please.
Yeah, don't give him the mic.
Please.
Anyone who's name dropped is not allowed to ask questions.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm wondering...
Wait, what's your name?
Lottie.
Hi, Lottie.
Hello. Full confession, I actually had no idea who you were before about 20 minutes ago.
I don't know who I am.
Lovely to meet you. I'm really interested in what your social media feed looks like and how you like cultivate what you're consuming. Are you intentionally trying to make it like all Christian content, or are you trying to make sure it's not like an echo chamber or somewhere like in between? What does your For You page look like?
Okay. I'll actually talk about my page specifically. Like on Instagram, my first highlight is actually any time I've ever posted about Jesus, God, whatever, church. It's all there. So the first highlight you'll see on my Instagram, because you'll get X amount of people visit it per month. So I always think if I can put God first there, then it'll be quite amazing for people to see that. And I think in a sense of like For You page, can you go over the question one more time?
So basically,
I think,
you've got
yeah, I think for me, I think the algorithm is so scary now that like whatever you are desiring at that moment is what you're going to get given. So like my For You page and my Explore page are a reflection of what I'm desiring at that moment. So like if I'm in an area where I'm really pursuing God, it's going to look like God. Whereas if I'm like in an area where I'm loving Liverpool Football Club, it's going to be Liverpool Football Club. Do you know what I mean though? Like I don't think it's about tailoring it or catering it, but I think it's just there. Like it's super smart. Like it knows what you want and it's going to give it to you.
So do we stay clear of it when we're not in the right place with God?
I mean, just scroll past, man. It won't come up. Like, you know, like if I see a video on TikTok, like there's those TikTok live streams where there's people with the tarot cards. It's like, I'm not watching that. And because I don't watch it, it's not going to show it to me again. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's helpful. That's actually like very practical for such a strange thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't like it, if it's not godly, just
don't
It
interact.
literally.
scroll past. Yeah, that's really cool. Any other questions? Just raise your hand if you have a question, and then Dan is coming around.
Hi. I was just wondering, obviously you were on Love Island, like quite a long time ago, and I was just wondering how
long time ago.
like how your perspective of the show has changed from when you were on it to sort of now being a Christian. Is it something that you would discourage Christians from watching? Because you're obviously talking about being the light in the dark places, and there have been a couple of sort of Christian people on there. Just sort of wondering your perspective on it now.
Yes, I think it was either last season or the season before where there was like the clip of two contestants talking about their favorite Bible stories. Am I correct in saying that? Yeah. I think that's kind of amazing to see. And even when I've seen it post on social media, I think it got like 3-4 million views on that. So there's 3 to 4 million people now who are now hearing the word of God, who again in an area where they might never have looked at him in a sense, you know. So yeah, when was this 2 years ago? I think I spoke about it a little bit when I was on it ages ago.
Wait, the first or the second time?
We don't count the second time.
Okay.
First time only. But it's nice to see that it's getting shown, and again to an audience who might not know him. Again, it's all about planting the seed, in my opinion. So yeah.
That's great. Another question. Hands up.
Hi, my name is Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
I have a question. What was like a moment where you experienced like the presence of God, especially as like maybe like a new Christian Joe, where you realized the difference between knowing God and knowing God?
What a question. Sounds like a really great guy.
See, I think this is kind of like my take on the presence of God, right? I believe it's almost like a telephone call, right? I feel there's a frequency with God, and I feel like the more aligned you are with God's purpose for you and His word, the stronger that frequency is, the more you can hear Him. So I find myself personally, when I fall into sin and doing things of the world and whatever it may be, I lose touch with that frequency and I can't hear God as clearly. Whereas when I'm aligned and boys are checking in with me and we're all solid and we're doing Bible studies, we're church every Sunday and whatever it may be, that line is so clear. So I can always feel the presence of God as long as I am aligned with His purpose for me.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Around the process of becoming a Christian. We talked about it a little bit earlier on the couch. I think sometimes as Christians we have narratives that we want to almost see a salvation moment and see their whole life change in an instant. And and sometimes that can happen, but sometimes that's very different. And just talking a little bit about your own testimony, your own story, was it an instant change, or did it take a while? And what did God teach you in learning to be more like
Yeah.
Jesus?
I mean, again, look, I've always said, like, I would love that come to God story where, like, I don't know, I was going to be hit by a car, someone saved me and said, believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, right? I would have loved that moment. I just never got that. It was more, again, through help from Jacob consistently getting me back to church, and me slowly but surely, like, the word of God sinking into me through people I'd heard. Again, we mentioned Dan Blythe earlier. I've heard him speak a few times, and there's certain things you'd hear on these certain talks where I'm like, oh, actually, that makes sense. That aligns with kind of what I'm on. And then other things, it doesn't suit me. There's a lot of bubbles around
These
here.
bubbles
Who's
are
doing
great.
this? I like it.
It's a West Ham fan.
Irons. But yeah, so it's more about kind of, for me, it was the consistency of keep coming back. And then before I knew it, I felt like, again, as I said about the frequency, I felt like it was just there. And I could hear God's voice. And my prayers felt like it was a conversation rather than just one-sided. It wasn't unrequited no more. I can't give you the exact time that happened, but just through consistency is when it started to develop.
That's super cool.
I think it's like discipleship. Like, I think we like glorify decisions too much, like putting your hand up and like doing the old school, whatever. Like, but unless you're getting discipled after that, then like naturally you're just gonna fall away. Like, or I guess you're just doing it out of your own strength if that's not the case.
No, it's awesome. And I've got an extra bit. Sorry, I'm really curious.
Jesse's taking all the questions.
I'm loving
guys.
this. Sorry, we'll get back in a sec. I just suddenly had all these thoughts, because I want to ask these questions to Joe as well. Obviously that process. You've now been sober for a year, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Woo!
Thanks,
Which is
guys.
super cool.
Yeah.
Like, what led you to do that, and how's that had an impact in your life?
Yeah. Again, like, I felt as if when I used to drink, I wasn't a bad drinker. I just felt like it would lead me to doing things that didn't align with the man I said I was. And it definitely didn't align with the Christian values I'm trying to go forward with. So yeah, quitting drinking was great for me. It just, I feel like it kind of breaks into, like, sin seems more digestible when drunk. And again, this is, if you can handle your alcohol and it's fine, so be it. But I just personally, it wasn't serving me anymore. And again, it didn't align with I like to be a man of my word, and it wasn't aligned with the man I was telling people I was. So yeah, it's been amazing. And if anything, it's definitely brought me closer to God for sure. So yeah, I think it's one of the best things I've done.
Like, how has it brought you closer to God? Has it changed the way you view God? Has it changed the way you act? Like,
yeah, it definitely changed the way I act. Again, like, it doesn't lead me into the places where I feel like I shouldn't be. And it's so much easier to say no. Like, there's strength in saying no. And that's something I never understood before. Again, newly coming into the industry I'm in, everything was a yes. Someone invited me somewhere, yes. Someone wanted to do something, yes. Whatever it was, I didn't understand the concept of, I can say no, I can have strength in whatever I want to do. So by sobriety, I've almost had this ability of being able to say no and stick firm to the word I'm preaching. But again, like, I genuinely don't think I'll ever drink again. Like, and I'm 28. Getting on, right?
Basically 30.
We don't say 30s here.
coming on 40.
I'm going to stop on 29 and just kind of go from there. But yeah, I just don't think I'll drink ever again. Again, it's helped me be the man I want to be. And it's, again, I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm still trying. But what's the point in going back to something that led me into an area where I didn't want to be?
That's super cool. Q&A. Should we carry on?
Oh, no.
Oh,
We
man.
literally said no to Posse.
There we go.
Can everyone
Hello.
leave for a second, please?
Further up the mic. Hello, my name is Posse.
Hi, Posse.
I have a question to both of you, actually all of you. Have you received any like words or encouragements that have helped you in a moment of adversity? And if you haven't, what advice / words or encouragement would you give to somebody that's about to be facing adversity?
It's a really good question.
Great. That was
Yeah,
great.
I remember one specific piece of advice that I was given like a couple years ago. Like, so both of my parents have multiple sclerosis, so they're both disabled. And my biggest fear, right, has been my mum passing away, because there's been a lot of moments throughout my life where, like, we've been through situations as a family where it was looking like that. And I remember I was in the car and I was coming back from hospital and I was on the phone to like one of my friends and I was just crying and I was like, dude, I think this could be it, but yeah, I was just weeping. And he just goes, God is just as in control now as he is when your mum passes away. And for some reason that just like rocked me and it just like held me so nice. And I was like, I actually know, like, as much as I fear that, when it does come, like, he's just as in control. And like that just like, even now, like, bro, like that really helped me. And I think that even that just nugget is something that I'd like to extend to others when they're going through something. Because there's a different type of like experience that you can only get through pain, that gives you like a perspective on life that won't leave you ever. So that's what I go for.
It's great. That's a great answer.
Yeah, follow that, Joe.
I need more words when I'm facing adversity, is what I've just realised. So if anyone can give me that in future, that'd be great. Genuine.
I would say I don't feel like I often get words given to me when I'm going through stuff. It's one of those things where I have to trust that God is who he says he is, even when I don't feel like he is who he says he is.
Yeah, I also think it kind of like I'm very much, I like to be a man, right? Stoic and whatever else and tough. But sometimes you do need to lean on people that you know. And so I catch myself so many times wanting to say things to friends, family, whoever it may be around me, people who are older than me, much more wisdom, and I don't. So there comes that point where obviously I haven't heard the words yet, but I need to open up a bit more.
Well, it's almost like a wordless topic, isn't it? Adversity. It's like we don't always know how to react because it's painful and it's rooted deep and it's complicated and every situation is different, every process is different, and so trying to speak into something is actually really hard. And that's why I think things like that happen, where I actually don't have lots of people that speak into this when I'm coming into it. People aren't often talking about what it is to find it difficult and suffer and all this stuff. It's actually really tricky to talk about. And I think that's also a little bit of an enemy tactic. Is he convinces us that it's in our low moments, in our suffering, that we're the most useless because we feel the most small. But actually it's in the smallest moments, it's in the weakest moments, and it's in the wounded moments that Jesus' love and grace and power shines through. That's what it says in the scripture.
Yeah, I also think that, like, if you've ever been through something horrible, like the joy that you experience, like the little moments of joy that you experience in that really deep pain is like the holiest thing you'll ever experience. Like, I remember when I was in hospital with my mum, and her favorite restaurant is Giggling Squid, a Thai restaurant, and me and her were eating Giggling Squid in the hospital, and it was one of my favorite memories. And I just remember thinking and looking up and be like, this is it. This is what it's about. Like, this is actually what it's about. Yeah.
Any more questions out there?
Sorry,
How we do?
I'm
We just
touched by
tearing
that.
up, it's fine.
We're out of time. One more.
Let's go for one
Oh,
more.
you got one more. Okay, fine.
One more question. Dan.
Hey, how has Jesus been speaking to you this week?
Go on, Joe.
No, please, can you go?
Something I love when I'm in church, when I'm in areas or communities where there's like people of faith, is just seeing people worship. Like, at my church, there's a little area where the deaf people worship, and it's my favorite thing to watch because they're more passionate than anyone. And it's like seeing, like, 40,000 people here worshiping God is so cool. Like, remember that you've got people in your corner and everyone's here. That's what he's speaking to me.
Yeah, I feel like Jesus is telling me to fast. I'm going to be honest. I feel
Okay.
Like, yeah. So I think I've got to do that.
What for?
Starting tomorrow. I feel like I've fasted a few times and I find a lot of power in fasting when it comes to prayer. So again, all about the frequency. I feel like when I'm fasted, I'm so focused and I can hear it so clearly. So yeah, I think I've got to do that.
That's so
Maybe
cool.
starting tomorrow. Can I eat some food today, please, and start
Yeah,
tomorrow?
we'll eat
That'd
today.
be nice.
Good.
That'd be
Start
nice.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Is God speaking to you?
Oh, Yeah,
What's
actually.
she saying?
I had an incredible conversation yesterday all about healing, actually. And my dad is also disabled. And so I always find healing a bit difficult. And I feel really encouraged to actually be bold and pray for healing. Even if I find it personally difficult, I can bless others with God's power through prayer. How about you?
I would say it's just so evident that Jesus is the most important person. It's so evident that Jesus is working in everyone's lives. And similar, I've just got this wider picture of what church is about, what the Christian faith is about, and how it's not about me. It is about me, but it's not about me. It's what he's doing with everyone. And he really does love so many people. It's like mind-blowing. I'm like, wow, God actually loves 40,000 people. What, 40,000 people? I'm just a small piece in this puzzle. This is amazing. So I feel very humbled this week.
It's so cool how he just speaks to us all differently and personally. I love it. And thank you guys so much for everything you have brought today and shared. Yeah, big up. And thanks you guys for watching
brother.
and for joining. Be sure to check out their Instagrams.
They need
Joseph
the
Garratt,
followers, the small-
JCMTW,
Not quite.
She
JCTMW.
remembers that
Did I not say it
nice.
right?
Yeah,
No,
you
you said
sound
it
like
right.
that,
Okay, something like that.
Perfect.
You'll find him.
And everyone's invited to Jacob's next supper club.
Yeah.
Everyone, all
You're not.
40,000.
You're not.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching and join us for the next podcast.